First off, I want to shout out my teammates. We was down the whole game, but we battled back. No one put their heads down. We all played for each other. And LSU is a shout out to them. They're a great team. I'm proud of my team and how we came back. And everybody just stayed together, kept their head up, and I'm proud of us fighting for a win in the end. I'll take questions.
I don't know how many threes you guys had in the second half, but what was working from the perimeter?
I think we all just played together. Shout out to Otega Owe also. He was getting downhill, creating plays for his teammates and himself. And then we got great shooters, Cam Williams, Colin, being ready to catch and shoot, and just everybody playing together and playing off each other. When we attack and there's a huge gamble inside, we just kick it out, and shout out to the boys for being ready to shoot.
Denzel, I think all 17 of your points came in the second period. What shifted for you? Was there a conversation at halftime, a mentality change, any kind of change in your demeanor or play? Just what led to that aggression and that scoring output in the second period?
Shout out to Coach Pope. He got on me in the halftime, told me to be aggressive and be yourself. And I just want to do whatever I can to get this win for this team. Shout out everybody else, my teammates as well. They found me in the right spots. Malachi set some great screens for me, extra passes and stuff like that. So that kind of got me going, and then I think that opened up for everybody else as well.
You guys obviously finished with 14 assists, maybe less than you guys would want overall, but after you go into halftime with just 2, what changed in creating plays for teammates in the second half that kind of propelled this comeback?
Like I said, creating for teammates. We got some open ball screens from the middle of the court. That led to downhill drives, and the bigs kind of keyed in on us, so we got kickouts. And also the short roll game, we kind of worked on it in practice a lot this past week. And shout out to Malachi being strong with the ball and finishing and stuff like that. But also just getting second chance rebounds and stuff, kicking out for extra threes and shots. And that just helped us on throughout the game in the second half.
Yeah, how would you assess the game winner from your vantage point, from your eyes?
So I was at half court, and then when Colin threw it and I seen Malachi catch it, he had like a clear view of the shot. So I'm like, I've seen this before. One time in practice, he hit a three-quarter shot from like half court, and it went in for game. So once he caught that like free throw line, I see the way he kind of shot it up. I was like half court. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew it was going in from there. So it was kind of a cool moment. It was a great moment actually. No one kept their heads down. Like I said, we kept playing to the end. And shout out to Malachi, he hit a big time shot.
Mark, this team could have probably folded pretty easily after going down 18 points. That first basket LSU made in the second period, but obviously it didn't. Battled back very quickly to make it a nip-and-tuck game, and then obviously you guys executed down the stretch. What were you most pleased with from a resiliency standpoint from your team tonight?
Well, exactly that. I was proud of the guys. We had a credit LSU. They're a terrific defensive team. They've been a comeback team in their first 3 games, and they switch a lot. They're long, they're physical, they're athletic, and that really hurt us in the first half. We were pretty stymied. Our movement was poor. Our response to the physicality of the game was poor. Our guys did a great job in the second half, responding and engaging in the. It's a fist fight, like that's what this game is, and it's instead of just getting knocked around and bumped off lines and cutting lines and bumped off ball screen attacks and bumped off post catches and getting to the rim, our guys were much more forceful in the second half, and it was a change. And credit our guys for responding that way. This group is we have some warts. We have some things we're trying to figure out, but this group is a group they're gonna stay in there. There were 15 times in the second half where we could have folded, and there were more than that in the first, but they just kept hammering away. I think Otega's leadership was great. I think DA's leadership was great. I thought we got a lot of great conservative efforts where our guys did a good job not paying attention to the scoreboard and just trying to continue to compete harder and harder. It's good.
Mark, can you just take me through the final timeout and maybe what you originally maybe drew from the play? Because I just assume it wasn't for Malachi to be taking a shot right inside the three-point line.
Do you want to talk about that?
No, you got it.
So we were just had a couple options, but we were really going to try and get Otega catch with maybe squeezing a dribble, And so I told Malachi, it's a long pass. A couple of things were great. It's a long pass, a little bit of scary pass. And so we're looking around, normally Cam is the guy that we use to throw that pass, but he was sitting on the bench with fouls. And so Colin Chandler was like, I got it. And we kind of drew it up, and we had a crossing pattern at the top as a default. We were trying to get a shot, and as we walked out of the timeout, I grabbed Malachi. I'm like, hey, if we overthrow this, just catch it and go shoot it. And to Malachi's credit, one of the things we pride ourselves on in our program is owning our shot, and it was like it was brilliant. It was awesome. It was fun. It was a fun moment for him, and it was a great moment, a huge lift for us, and so proud of the guys for making it work.
Mark, tonight we saw a start from Andre Yelovich. He played 21 minutes tonight. What did you like and see that you got out of him tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was good. He made a couple shots for us, which was important. I thought he conceptually, I thought he was pretty solid. They were cutting us up with the short roll high ball screen earlier, and we were stuck in between. We couldn't really get to a hard show because they were getting to it quick, and we weren't really committed to a drop, so we're stuck in between. And we went to switching in the second half, which was really effective for us. Our guys did a great job doing it, and Yella managed that really well, as did the rest of our guys, especially the switch on the back end. I thought he was really good. And I actually think he's got better basketball in front of him. I think I was proud of him tonight. He got thrown in the starting lineup and in a really a complicated energy first half, and just kind of like Yella is, just kind of kept coming and I thought he gave us a great effort.
Malachi, being a Kentucky kid, just how much does it mean for you to have that moment, this game winner? And then secondly, how many times have you played that through in your head? I'm sure growing up, there's been so many times you've thought, you getting the game-winning shot for Kentucky.
No, yeah, definitely. It's like being a little kid in your backyard again. Those are the shots that you just always practice because you just want to kind of have that feeling. So I think that kind of came to me today. But, that shot doesn't happen if we don't come out with the intensity we had in the second half. So, as credits to all my teammates, that's the reason I got that shot.
There was a story floating around the locker room that as you walked onto the court, you told Colin, don't pass it to me. Is that true?
No comment.
Mark, over the last two games, you guys have shown that resiliency kind of in different ways. Went down early against Mississippi State, rallied back pretty immediately. Tonight with the second half comeback, the late game execution. Just as these are kind of building blocks for the SEC season ahead, what gives you the most confidence in the progression of this team from a game-to-game basis that this can maybe become more the identity of this team from the start?
Well, these guys are not going to go away, and that's an incredibly comforting feeling as a coach, and I think it's something that BBN can be really proud of is they got a group of guys that's not going away. Like I said, we're far from a perfect product. We have so much growth to do. We got to get way better, but these guys are not going away, and that's fun. I think that's a fun place to live, and it gives you a lot of confidence moving forward that we can continue to grow, and that they're just not gonna relent, which is a gift as a coach to have a group like that.
Mark, tonight a lot's going to be made of overcoming adversity on the court, but off the court as well. I'm sure it was a very difficult week for you and for Jalen Lowe having to shut him down for the season. But it seemed like tonight, tons of times he was the first guy up off the bench cheering on his teammates, clapping, being like, what can you say about what he still brings to this team and that kind of mentality?
Yeah, Jalen Lowe's engagement in the game, unfortunately he spent more time on the bench than he has in games for us this year, but his engagement in the games is terrific. And he's smart. He sees things on the floor. I think he's trying to coach our guys. We're actually giving him some scout assignments moving forward where he's going to be responsible for prepping some of the things for our guys. And it matters. And it has been an emotional week for sure. You think about, having him have an end to his season, which is a really tough thing for us. And then, you think about Otega away, another, just heroic performance from him, and he couldn't even make it to shoot around this morning. He was so sick, and so this is, he's been really under the weather and just battled through it tonight. And so there's all those dynamics, but it's a credit to these guys for staying in there and finding a way to do it.
Last one.
Mark, so much of this game in the future is going to be remembered for the final shot, but I want to ask you about the fact that you check Malachi back in with 8:56 to go with 4 fouls, and he plays almost 9 minutes without fouling. So can you just talk about that specific part of it and how impressive that was to you?
It's actually a gift to Coach Malachi and Da. I mean, come on, both these guys had incredible performances today. Malachi is smart. There were a couple times, we had run a underneath out of bounds, a Y1 underneath out of bounds, and had some success with it. And I was actually making a change because I wanted to get Ortega engaged in the game. There was a foul situation going on. I was like, we got to get something in the rim. So I went to a different play call underneath out of bounds the next time that we get us something. And Malachi was just like, Coach, stay with Y1, literally from the sidelines. He's in the game. He said, no, let's stay with Y1. And DA was totally happy with that because it's a play that DA gets some real action out of it. And Malachi's really smart, man. He takes in all the details of the game, and he was able to. The fact that he was able to execute that way, Coach Fox almost lost his mind when Malik went for a steal late in the game, and we gave up a bucket. It other than that, it was a brilliant game. And then credit Da the same way. Da sitting on 3 fouls for 16 minutes, 17 minutes in this game, and played really the entire second half. And so our guys were really smart executing that way, and I was proud of both of these guys. And Da, for his money, I mean, we just, we kind of abandoned all the stuff where we're using the width of the floor, and we just kept the ball in the middle of the floor and just put it in his hands a lot in the second half, kind of running the same actions over and over and over again. And him and Malachi were really creative in finding every different shot out of those actions. It was impressive IQ game for both those guys. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, guys.